from Ball State University. News for the campus community and all of Delaware County. This is NewsLink Indiana.
Gas prices are going up again and Muncie residents are feeling the pain. Good evening, I'm Lauren Byrne.
And I'm Tanner Deich. Thanks for joining us this evening. And some Muncie residents may turn to alternative means for transportation after many gas stations in the city went up to $3.99 a gallon today. The Rickers BP on the corner of Walnut and McGalliard was one of 21 stations to take the jump. As of 5 p.m. today, there were 7 stations in Muncie still below $3.78. With rising gas prices, many people are turning to carpooling, public transportation, and walking as an alternative to driving. Ball State student Tiffany Pence got gas today, but she says she just got enough to get by.
I normally drive to class, but obviously that's going to have to stop. I'll just have to suck it up and just walk because I can't afford to drive to class when I could walk.
And you can visit www.bankrate.com to view 11 car care tips that will help you save on gas.
A woman filling up on gas yesterday in Daleville got quite a surprise. Police say a stranger climbed into her car and fell asleep while she was inside a Shell gas station. The woman alerted a state trooper who was fueling his police car. The trooper woke the man, and he is identified as Patrick J. Coing of Indianapolis. Koenig was arrested for public intoxication and possession of marijuana.
And changes are being made to the Indiana legislative districts. House Republicans say with the redistricting, 8 of 100 houses won't have an incumbent. The maps were drawn without any political consideration, yet Democrat Representative Ed Donnelly says he doubts the new map will lead to competitive elections, and Democrats were shut out of the process. The new maps put representatives together in 10 districts, but no senators are combined. And a couple of proposals on major education from Governor Mitch Daniels will go before the Indiana legislators this week. One of them is a voucher proposal that already passed the House. This proposal would use taxpayer money to help parents send their kids to private schools. The controversial proposal has the support of many Republicans. The Republican Party controls both the Indiana House and the Senate. And Governor Mitch Daniels has proposed another amendment to teacher merit pay. The change would guarantee that Indiana students would not have poor-performing teachers for 2 years in a row. Under an amendment, a school district could not place a student for more than 1 year with teachers rated ineffective in their yearly evaluations. If school staffing makes that impossible, schools would have to inform parents their child would have an ineffective teacher for a second year in a row.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and one of the most respected universities in the country is facing a harsh reality: its own issues with sexual assault cases. A group of students at Yale University has filed a complaint over the school's handling of sexual harassment and assault cases. Allison Kosick reports.
Yale University, with its prestigious history and rigorous academic standards, is now mired in a sexual harassment dispute rocking its ivory tower. 16 students and recent alumni, including junior Hannah Zevin, have filed a federal complaint alleging a hostile environment when it comes to sexual harassment and sexual assault.
The 16 of us have stood up and said, look, this is what we see and we think it's wrong.
What they've seen are several offensive incidents. This 2009 email circulated at the university offers a, quote, scouting report of freshman women ranked by the number of beers needed before a man should sleep with them. This picture from 2008 shows fraternity pledges outside Yale's Women's Center holding a sign that says, "We love Yale sluts." The fraternity later apologized. This October video shows fraternity members chanting a vulgar slogan.
It's incredibly offensive. As a woman, I was horrified.
A common reaction from women and men on campus. But it's not these incidents that are in dispute. Rather, investigators are trying to determine whether the university responded to these and other private incidents appropriately. The university says it has. It issued this statement, quote, Yale takes extremely seriously all allegations of sexual harassment and sexual misconduct, including allegations of a hostile environment. The university's dean sent students a letter saying a new committee is being formed to address issues across the university, but repeated requests to answer questions on camera have been denied. Hannah Zevin and others allege in a complaint they have not made public that Yale is violating a federal law called Title IX. Mostly known for equality in sports, the law also protects students from a hostile sexual environment on college campuses.
Students who experience such assaults are not being given the correct or right kind of redress.
If the university is found to be out of compliance and does nothing to address it, it could lose $500 million in federal funding. This week, while not naming Yale directly, Vice President Joe Biden made it known that his administration is focused on the issue.
When it comes to sexual abuse, it's quite simple. No means no.
Despite the controversy, some students feel the university has been responsive.
It certainly seemed to me like Yale was taking it seriously.
Still, others feel more could be done.
It really doesn't say much when we create a committee but don't necessarily do anything about the situation.
A lot of the accusations being made are very fair. A lot of things have not been handled the way they should have.
If the Department of Education agrees, changes could soon be coming to this elite school. Allison Cossack, CNN, New York.
If you would like to learn more about Sexual Assault Awareness Month, go to www.nsrvc.com.
And it was started out as a gloomy day out there today, but it finally warmed up, saw some sun out there. Let's check in with Alex March with all those details. Alex?
It's a beautiful night here in Muncie. We saw that rain move here through the area today. It was very wet. I'm sure you noticed that on your way to classes or wherever it was that you were going today. And that rain has moved out of the area, and even the sun has begun to come out just a little bit this evening. Temperatures are into the mid-50s right now. As we take a look at the weather computer, the winds are a bit breezy out there as well. Taking a look at the radar, we can see that that rain continues to push its way towards the south and east here, away from Muncie, so we do have a dry night ahead here coming up in full weather. We'll talk about the dry night, and will be a cooler Tuesday as well, but we will have some more changes as we move into the end of the week. Could be a very different weekend from what we just had just yesterday. We'll talk about all of that here in just a few minutes in full weather. Now back to you guys inside.
It's been 1 month since the earthquake and tsunami in Japan, but Mother Nature is saying it's not over yet for that nation.
And students of a middle school got to meet somebody really special, President Obama. Stay with us.
It's been 1 month since the powerful earthquake and tsunami hit Japan. Japanese authorities have revised the official death toll to more than 13,100 people. Ralitsa Vashileva shows us how survivors are honoring the victims, even amid continuing aftershocks.
People bowed their heads to observe a moment of silence, remembering the disaster set off a month ago by the most powerful earthquake in Japan's modern history. The 9.0 magnitude quake triggered a powerful tsunami, which swept away whole villages and set off a nuclear crisis at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. More than 27,000 people are dead or missing. 150,000 now live in shelters. Not long after the moment of silence, the earth shook again, rattling survivors across the country. The magnitude 6.6 aftershock triggered landslides, knocked out power to the Fukushima nuclear plant, and prompted brief evacuations of the nuclear reactors. Both the government and the plant owners have faced questions and even rare protests over their handling of the crisis. Cooling problems and radiation leaks suffered by the plant have contaminated a wide area with radioactive particles. Japan's government Monday signaled the nuclear crisis was far from over and asked more people living beyond the 20-kilometer exclusion zone around the stricken plant to evacuate to avoid dangerous long-term radiation exposure. Tokyo Tower tried to cheer up Japan with an LED light reading Ganbaro Nippon, Be Strong Japan. Ralitsa Vasilova reporting.
And now we go from an international story to news making headlines around our nation. We begin in the capital.
President Obama took some time to visit with a group of Colorado middle school students today. These are the same students he mentioned in his speech Friday night after a deal was reached to avoid a government shutdown. A concerned parent sent a letter to the president last week because they were worried the trip would be canceled if the shutdown went through. That prompted the president to invite them to the White House for a quick visit and a photo op.
And moving up to the East Coast to Long Island, where another discovery was made as the search for victims of a possible serial killer continues. Search dogs uncovered bones about 5 miles away from Suffolk County, where police have found 8 bodies since December. As you can see, dozens of officers were out scouring the area. Police say the bones found today will be tested to see if they are human.
And take a look at this footage of a massive tornado that touched down in Mapleton, Iowa Sunday. According to officials with Iowa's emergency management, this was one of 3 tornadoes spotted in the area last night. Authorities say the tornadoes leveled 60% of the small town. No one was killed, and the Red Cross is in the area helping the storm victims.
Now from our national news, let's take a look at our local news.
Kaylee Russell joins us with more. Kaylee?
Thanks, guys. There are a few important headlines to note from our partners at the Ball State Daily News. A professor at Ball State has conducted a study that shows only 100 students on campus are without cell phones. The paper will chronicle a day in the life of a student who must use other means of communication. Annie Griffiths, one of the first women photographers to work for National Geographic, will speak tomorrow at Emmons at 7 p.m. The event is free to attend. Joanne Gora will be on WCRD tomorrow at 9 p.m. Gora will talk about the budget cuts and how they will affect the university. All that and more coming up in tomorrow's Ball State Daily News on newsstands across campus or online 24 hours a day at bsudailynews.com.
Thanks, Kaylee. And Ball State graduate student Josie Fox and her husband Jeff will be on campus tomorrow to discuss the extremes of entrepreneurship. The couple are co-founders of Foxhead Incorporated, one of the top action sports clothing lines in the world. The presentation begins at 3:30 in the afternoon in AJ 175. Admission is free. And you know, we had a great weekend, but will we see more summer-like weather?
Alex Marsh will have your full look at weather after this break. Well, Tanner, it's been a gloomy couple of days, a lot of rain out there. Do we know if the rain is going to stop or hold off?
You know, I hope the sun comes out because I need to go outside and work on my tan. Alex, can I go outside and tan any this week?
Yeah, I think as we head into the day tomorrow, I think will be a pretty nice day. We certainly will see some sunshine out here, but temperatures will be much cooler than where we saw them just a few days ago. Temperature outside still very comfortable. 55 degrees is the current temperature. We have winds from the north right now at 8 miles an hour. Now we are going to take a look at the radar. We can see that the rain is continuing to push towards the south and east, but I want to give you a bit of a wider view here. So we take a look down towards the south. This is what we're missing. This is along the same cold front that moved its way through Indiana today. This red lit up here, that is actually a tornado warning, so we are missing that. That's some good news. We certainly don't need any tornadoes around here. We saw that one in the video from Kansas earlier, and so we certainly don't need anything like that around here. A little bit of a closer look, you can see that that rain is continuing to push its way towards the south and east, so we are looking here for a dry night. And those clouds will be breaking. We could see a bit of fog in here overnight tonight as well. Again, temperatures around the state here are 55 in Muncie, 57 in Indianapolis. Taking a look towards the west, we see 59 degrees in Terre Haute as well. So very comfortable temperatures out there. Temperatures will be continuing to fall as we move through the night. So we have 73 degrees. That was our high temperature this morning. That was actually at 3 o'clock this morning. 55 is our low for the day. Again, that's our current temperature. So we are well above normal temperature-wise, and so that's been pretty nice to enjoy here as well. So here as we take a look through the next few days, I'm really pretty unimpressed with what this model is doing. You can see that the rain is actually already out of the area, and then I think the model clears out the cloud cover too early, and then as we head into the next few days, we can start to see our next system lining up off towards our north and west. So 57 at 8 o'clock down to 42 will be our low overnight tonight. Those clouds will be clearing eventually, and I think we could see some fog develop in the especially in some low-lying areas as we move through the night. For your day tomorrow, we are looking at lots of sunshine, up to 57. That fog will eventually clear out. Again, lots of sunshine, so that'll be nice to see. And as we head through the next 5 days, we're looking at temperatures warming up a little bit. That is actually not the right 5-day forecast. So a lot of files were changed in the computer. I'll work on getting the right one up here so we can see it here by the end of the show. Anyway, we'll see 70 degrees here in the next couple days, thunderstorms by the end of the week.
So not quite tanning weather for Tanner this week.
Well, 70 degrees, is that tanning weather?
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to see how much sun's out there.
All right, well, thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
The Masters finished up this weekend. Find out if everything was on par.
And it's baseball season. Pat Boylan has all the Major League highlights after the break. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome into NewsLink Sports. I'm Pat Boylan. After a 19-win season, Coach Billy Taylor is expanding the border in an effort to improve. Taylor announced Ball State will head northwest to Vancouver, Canada over the summer. The Cards will be in Vancouver from August 8th through August 16th. The trip will give the Cardinals 3 to 4 extra games plus 10 more practices. The last time Ball State went abroad, well, they went to the program's only Sweet 16 the following season. A week in, it's been a rough start for many nearby MLB teams, except the Cincinnati Reds, who have started the year red hot. Hit and Run takes a quick look at how the nearby teams did yesterday. First to Arizona, the Reds have a 7-6 lead, I should say, but Stephen Drew changes that real quickly, ties it up at 7 into the 8th inning and into the 9th. D-backs nursing a 2-run lead. J.J. Putz gets the save. Cincinnati with the loss to 6-3 on the year. Into Milwaukee, and, well, same story, different ballpark. Chicago's 1-run lead in the 8th goes away by a McGehee home run, and the Cubs drop to 4-5 after losing this game 6-5 to the Brewers. Barry Zito's the starter on the hill for the Giants, trying to sweep the Cards, but David Freese, he brought his hitting stick. A double here to left field puts the Cardinals up by 1. And then into the 8th, well, he went all home run on us. Single shot puts the Cardinals up 6-1. They'd go on to win it by that score. Freese had 3 RBIs on the day. St. Louis moves to 3-6 with the victory. Well, with 1 day left in the 75th Masters, a 21-year-old had the lead, a man with a tower putter right behind, and a Tiger on the prowl. To beautiful Augusta we go. Rory McIlroy, there he is. He's 21 years old, a 4-stroke lead. This isn't going to be his day, though. Here on 10, misses well to the right. He would finish 8 over on the day. But it's not a Masters if Tiger Woods isn't on the prowl. Here for Eagle gets it to go. Tiger would get to -10. He would tie for the lead at one point during the day. But it was all about this guy, Charles Schwartzel. Check out this shot, 108 yards away. Schwartzel working the right side of the green. Watch him just pull this ball on a string. Zing, it comes back, and it's going to go all the way, find its way into the hole. It's just going to be one of those days for Charles Schwartzel. He moved to 18, needs to 2-putt for the Masters. Well, 1 will do. Charles Schwartzel, his second trip to Augusta, wins it all, and he talks about his talk with a former golf great that helped him lead to such success.
Advice from Mr. Nicholas, I don't think you can get any better. He took me through the way he used to play Augusta, the way he used to think. I wasn't going to get any better advice from anyone.
The Pacers are back in the playoffs after a 5-year absence, however, as an 8th seed with the worst record of any playoff team. The odds of winning it all are long. How long? It's tonight's final word. Oddsmakers place Indiana at 251 to 1 odds to win it all. Well, that's the same odds as you giving birth to a genius. It's also the same odds that you'll give birth to identical twins. Ever caught a baseball or ever caught a ball at a baseball game? Well, you've accomplished something rarer than the 8th seed winning it all, as those odds sit at a minuscule 563 to 1 odds.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy.
Pacers are in. It's something to be excited about, but I'm not trying to say give away the hope, but it's going to be a tough trip for the Pacers coming here in a few days.
Well, that's crazy. Thanks so much for that look at sports.
For sure.
And Legally Blonde is coming from the silver screen to the Ball State stage.
And there's been a change in this week's Professional in Residence. Find out all the details with Aaron Edwards with entertainment next.
MGM hit film Legally Blonde has been transformed into a Broadway play. Tickets went on sale today for the show's only performance at Emmons. Prices for the public vary. Visit Emmons' event calendar online for a price chart. Ball State students can get free tickets in advance but must pay $10 the day of the show. The cast will perform at 7:30 Thursday evening, April 28th. Ball State Journalism's Pulliam Award winner will not be on campus this week as scheduled. Rukmini Calamachi is covering the ongoing conflict on the Ivory Coast as the West African correspondent for the Associated Press. The violence in the area has caused the airport to be closed and Calamachi cannot leave. She was scheduled to visit classes, receive the award, and give a speech to students. Instead, her editor, Mary Rajkumar, will be accepting the award. Katie Couric and Matt Lauer will reunite on the Today Show, but just once. The pair are scheduled to appear next Wednesday, April 20th. They plan to discuss Couric's new book, The Best Advice I Ever Got, Lessons Learned from Extraordinary People. The reunion is temporary at this time, but the New York Times recently reported that Couric is exploring her options once her contract with the CBS Evening News ends this summer. Prince William and fiancée Kate Middleton made their last public appearance as an unwed couple on Sunday. Among other events, Miss Middleton waved the flag to start a 100-meter foot race. With the wedding less than 3 weeks away, the couple have nothing else scheduled publicly between now and then.
That's all for NewsLink Indiana tonight. Join us tomorrow right here on Cardinal Vision.
In the meantime, you can stay connected with us on Facebook and on Twitter. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Good night.